everybody, my name's Sine. This is going to be my first pregnancy vlog, or vlog as some people call it. It's a bit late because I'm actually 21 weeks pregnant, but I planned for this one to go through how I found out, symptoms I had, and my experience becoming pregnant, I suppose, and dealing with that. And yeah, so I'm 21 weeks pregnant and about 4 days now, and my estimated due date is December the 31st, so New Year's Eve this year, and that will be exciting. I'm 20 years old and I was born in New Zealand, and I now live in a little town called Albury in New South Wales, Australia, and I've been here for about 5 years. My mum and my stepdad and my little family moved over, and I've been here ever since with them. My partner is 25 years old and his name is Lance, and we're both really excited. So we're going to be young parents, but we're both really excited about it. And yeah, so I found out I was pregnant on the 26th of April, and I was about 5 or 4 weeks pregnant. It was very, very early. I found out on the day of my missed period, actually, so I was pretty spot on with that one. And I took one test and then I ended up taking 5 because for whatever reason I wasn't convinced. But sure enough I was, and Lance was actually at work that day, and when he came home that's when I showed him all 5 tests really. And he was pretty chuffed and excited about it. I actually have one of them here. That was the first one I took. Can't really see because of the light, but it's got 2 lines on it, and it's a bit gross, I suppose, but it's my little memento, my personal one. It's not going to be in the lounge room on display or anything for everyone to see. It just stays in my bedroom. But yeah, so I was pretty excited straight away, and we talked about every option really, what we're going to do, all sorts of things. We obviously had a very long, in-depth discussion about it, and then we made an appointment to a doctor, to see our doctor, and I had to go get a blood test to confirm pregnancy and also get an ultrasound. The ultrasound was really cool. It was also what you call a dating scan, so it confirmed that I was pregnant and also told me how far along I was and when my estimated due date was going to be. So pretty sure I was 6 or 5 weeks, quite early then too. Excuse me, when I got that scan. So the baby was sitting there on the wall, and it was just a little white blob with a tiny little flicker of a heartbeat. It even had a yolk sac too, which soon disappeared as the coming weeks formed a placenta and things like that, but it was very early days. And but that was really cool to see, and we both enjoyed having a look at a little baby in there. And I ended up telling my friends and family. Of course, there was heaps of mixed reactions because I'm young and stuff, but all in all, everyone's really supportive and helping me out, and everyone's really excited as well. What else? What happened then? So we talked to our doctor, and they got the results, and made a note that I was pregnant and all that sort of stuff, and we had to talk about serious issues. I actually carry a genetic disorder called hemophilia, which is a blood clotting disorder, and it's passed down to the sons. Females are generally just carriers of the disorder, but we have a couple of symptoms like heavy periods and nosebleeds and that sort of thing. But generally, if our son or our father or whoever has it, they don't clot and have internal bleeds through their joints and stuff like that. It's not as bad as it sounds, but it's not very well known, and there's a few myths and things going around, like you get a paper cut, you die, and all this stuff, which isn't true. But a big part of it was talking to Lance and educating him about it, and we had to also discuss what would happen if our baby had it, and we had to discuss whether we were going to test and terminate and all that sort of thing. Basically, my father has hemophilia, and I've grown up with it, and I'm okay with the whole thing, and I always thought that if I ever got pregnant and stuff, that I wouldn't get rid of my child if it had hemophilia, because I don't see it as a disorder that is that bad. That's just my opinion. I mean, to terminate pregnancy is a big decision, and I think that I'd only ever really do that if the disease or the abnormality or whatever was really debilitating and stuff. So, but what a consequence was that we found out that I may have to go to the city, Melbourne, to give birth if the baby ended up having hemophilia, and that's obviously something I need to plan and consider. So we decided that we best test for that. So we had to talk about testing and all that sort of stuff. There's two procedures that test for hemophilia. The first one was amniocentesis, which would have been done at 15 to 16 weeks, and that's when a needle goes into the stomach and gets amniotic fluid, which contains skin cells. And the other procedure was chorionic villus sampling, or CVS, and they go through the cervix and get a bit of placenta to test. The thing is with that, after talking to the genetic counsellor, we found out that the samples that they took, they find out the gender first and test after that, and if the fetus ended up being a female, they weren't going to test. And we thought that was not good enough sort of thing. We didn't want to put the pregnancy through that sort of risk. So we decided to wait until we found out through ultrasound what we were having, and then of course if we were going to have a boy, we were going to have him tested with amniocentesis at 20 weeks, which apparently had little to no risk. But we found out at 15 weeks that we were actually having a girl, so we were really excited and stuff, and sort of avoided the whole hemophilia thing. And yeah, we got to avoid the whole situation. So that's something to deal with next time, if there's a next time. But we're just taking everything in stride now. So we found out at 15 weeks, which is pretty early. Most people find out at 20 weeks what they're having, just because it's further along. But because I had a genetic disorder, it was pretty necessary for me to find out, so that I could book in for an amniocentesis and all that sort of stuff if I needed to. And yeah, so I was able to find out at 15 weeks. And so that was very exciting for us. Lance was a little bit disappointed because being a boy, he wanted a little boy first. But obviously he's really excited about it. Shortly after the ball started to get rolling with the whole pregnancy thing, he bought me a little notebook. I was going to cover it with things just to make a pregnancy diary, and I found that a really fun thing to do. I've written it in it basically every milestone, so 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 15 weeks, that sort of thing. I actually have, I don't know if you can see, but that is the scan, my 15-week scan, and there's her face, sort of see little nose and mouth, and that's her. And that's my favourite scan so far, because you can just see all the little details and stuff. And so I've basically written in the whole thing. My last update was the 20-week scan and stuff. I started showing pretty early. From 10 weeks, I've always had a bit of a rolly belly. Being a bigger, solider girl, I always had a rolly belly, but I started showing pretty early. And then at 15 weeks, I had a slight bump there, but now I'm actually pretty big. Yeah, and I had my scan at 20 weeks, where they checked the anatomy. They went through her heart and her brain and checked every little thing, counted her feet and her toes, and at that particular scan she was actually measuring at 22 weeks, which was exciting and stuff, but I suppose that can change, especially during the pregnancy. She could just have been going through a growth spurt and stuff. Yeah, so it's been really exciting and full of ups and downs, of course, like hormones and morning sickness and all that sort of thing. I'm actually in her nursery now. We've only got a few things like a bassinet and a change table and a pram, and I've done a little decorating on the walls and that sort of thing, getting all maternal and stuff like that. And yeah, but we're really excited, and I just thought that this would be a cool way to update all my friends and family in New Zealand and here, and keep in touch with anyone that also might be a young mum or might be pregnant with their first kid, or even just haven't been pregnant. Yeah, I just thought it'd be a fun way to keep my diary, but do it a little bit differently. So I might finish up with showing you my belly bump. As you can see, that's my belly. Here's it from the front. My belly button has popped out a little bit. It's pretty big, and at the moment feels really tight and that sort of thing. I haven't felt any movements just yet. Nothing really definite, but the last couple of days I've been thinking I've been feeling things, and the last couple of weeks I've been feeling little flutters, but there hasn't been anything that I've thought, oh, I just felt a kick, but I could very well be feeling those, but I'm not too sure. So anyways, I'll finish it up there, and then I'll make another update shortly. Thank you.